Ai đang toàn đối ai đang ấy nhỉ? Liên ai care việc mà đại biểu ấy nhỉ?
Anh Huấn ơi, đầu mối bên em là bọn em tương tác qua các group Zalo để care với các đại biểu của chương trình chiều nay anh ạ.
Ok.
Bọn em đang một vòng rồi.
Ừ.
Bạn Linh ạ, bạn Linh bên em anh nhé.
Yeah.
Vâng.
Đẩy cho link cái backdrop rồi, nếu mà đại biểu nào mà sao mình chụp cái ảnh cho đẹp.
Vâng ạ.
Ai lo chụp ảnh màn hình ta? Một bạn nào mà
Rồi em có rồi, anh yên tâm. Được đấy thì sáng chụp.
nhá, chụp lại với cái
Anh
chụp
hiểu
lại
ý chụp rồi. Vâng.
thời điểm mà của đại sứ quán Úc này, của anh Philip, rồi là các tham dự này, anh Tiến này, đại biểu tham dự này, xong rồi chọn những cái ảnh đẹp. Nếu mà cho có cái
khoảnh khắc khuôn mặt đúng không?
cái background mà mọi người mà có đùng cùng background thì rất là chuẩn.
Vâng.
Cái circulate cái background cho mọi người đi, nó là cái thông điệp mà để mọi người nắm được mà.
Vâng ạ. Hoàng ơi, Hoàng gửi cái link livestream vào trong ô chat để cho mọi người nếu như có muốn chia sẻ cho bạn bè để có thể xem nhé.
Anh Ngọc ơi. Anh Ngọc ơi. Không được. Toàn ơi.
Em đây.
Tình hình gì nhỉ? Cái camera bên này sẽ không hiện backdrop được, background được, bởi vì là nó mờ, nó không nhìn thấy người.
Vâng.
Đâm này chắc là giờ văn phòng nông thôn mới sẽ dùng cái nền này thôi.
Dạ vâng, em hiểu ạ. Vâng, cái backdrop thì chủ yếu là mọi người ngồi cá nhân thôi. Còn văn phòng thì thường là sẽ không dùng được. Anh Tuấn Anh ơi, anh Tuấn Anh có thể thử cho em một đoạn là dịch sang ở kênh tiếng Anh được không ạ?
Chờ anh chút nha, chờ anh được chút. Ok, rồi coi như là em đang nói tiếng Việt đi ha, anh chỉ sang tiếng Anh.
Xuân Anh nói
Từ từ, em nói cái tiếng bây giờ. Ok.
Kính thưa các đồng chí lãnh đạo, quý vị đại biểu, quý vị khách quý.
Leadership, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, the Ocop One Commune One Product is implemented by Legislation 704 QD 2018 by the Prime Minister of Vietnam. This is a key target program on promoting economic in rural area, increasing the value and the income.
Progress.
Rồi ạ.
Hôm nay chúng tôi tổ chức ABC đấy, nhưng mà ví dụ hôm nay chúng tôi tổ chức buổi lễ này để công bố hay là để launch cái gì đó. Chứ lúc nãy có một vài những con số chẳng hạn như là 63 tỉnh thành, rồi là có bao nhiêu xã này, rồi là bao nhiêu sản phẩm ấy. Thế thì ví dụ em nói liền và nói nhanh cho nên mà bị miss mất, bị nhỡ mất một vài những con số đó.
Một đoạn đi, nhắc lại
Ừ.
tên của các vị lãnh đạo và tên của các tổ chức. Sau đó thì nhờ anh Tuấn Anh.
Okay, now Xuân Anh, can you please repeat a short paragraph in Vietnamese, and Tuấn, the translator, will translate simultaneously. And we will see how it works so that we can live stream it.
Nếu vậy thì chạy thế đi.
Vâng, em nghĩ là như thế thôi.
Như vậy là
Okay.
make sure rằng mình có cả tiếng Việt và tiếng Anh nhé.
Okay, so this is to make sure that we have both Vietnamese and English channel. So in YouTube it will be English and Facebook will be in Vietnamese. Okay. Okay, so let's restart. Ladies and gentlemen, today the Central Coordination Office of the New Rural Development, in partnership with related stakeholders, organized this launching workshop on scoring art. And joining us in this program, I'm pleased to introduce the following. First, from the Central Office for the New Rural Development, Nguyễn Minh Tiến, the Director and the Chief of Office of the Coordination Office for Rural Development, and from Australia Embassy to Vietnam, Mr. Tony Hammond, the Agricultural Counselor of the Australian Embassy to Vietnam. And then from the Asia Foundation, Mr. Philip Grover, the Deputy Country Representative of Asia Foundation in Vietnam, Lê Tu Hiền, Senior Expert of Asia Foundation. And from the Craft Export Association, Mr. Lê Bá Ngọc, Secretary General and Vice Chairman of the Craft Association of Vietnam. And we are also pleased to welcome representatives from the local People's Committee, local DARD, other departments, businesses, cooperatives, Ocop managers and businesses who register to join this event. So may I warmly welcome you and wish you very good health and best wishes. Should I introduce Huấn as well? No.
Anh Toàn
Không cần đâu em ạ. Tôi giới thiệu các vị đại biểu đấy. Các chủ thể đã vào trong phòng Zoom thì mình vui lòng đổi cái backdrop theo cái hướng dẫn của ban tổ chức ạ. Nếu như các chị đang ở trong cái khu vực nghỉ trưa thì mình cũng vui lòng là mờ cái phông nền đằng sau để đảm bảo tính nghiêm túc của chương trình. Chị Hằng bây giờ là 1:10 ấy, chị Hằng có thể vui lòng check với lại các đại biểu không ạ? Em xin phép được tương tác với các chủ thể một chút ạ. Ở trong này thì mình có chủ thể của sản phẩm 5 sao nào không ạ? Vâng, em chào đại diện đến từ Giò Chả Hiếu Huynh. Các cái sản phẩm 5 sao thì năm 2020 là có khoảng hơn 20 sản phẩm. Năm nay thì cũng đã nộp được khoảng 50 sản phẩm. Hy vọng thì sẽ có thể tương tác được nhiều hơn với các anh chị chủ thể có sản phẩm 5 sao trong năm nay. Hiện giờ trong Zoom của mình đã có khoảng 50 người.
Now in the room we have about 50 advisory participants. Can I ask any stakeholder come from the Ocop price path? So C from Bến Tre. So Bến Tre is one of the top south province of Vietnam. Then Dung Nhưỡng Mid Pai.
Các chủ thể tham gia buổi tập huấn phần mềm hôm nay thì
And other stakeholders joining us on this ceremony, please make sure that you have your proper name, so that when during the ceremony we can address you properly. Now we have Đồng Tấn and Lê Tu Hiền. Lê Tu Hiền from Asia Foundation Agency.
Vâng, cảm ơn các anh các chị. Chào anh Nguyễn Minh Phong. Buổi chiều hôm nay thì chúng ta có một cái background khác dành cho chương trình phần mềm. Anh Nguyễn Minh Phong có thể ban tổ chức có thể gửi cái background tới anh Nguyễn Minh Phong đúng không ạ? Chúng ta đồng loạt thay phông để chiều nay khi mà chụp các cái hình ảnh nó sẽ đồng bộ hơn.
Recording in progress.
Vietnamese, so we can check the English interpretation. Is that okay for you?
Yes, that's fine. Yes, certainly.
Yeah, very nice to meet you here today. Xin chào anh Tony ạ. Anh Tuấn Anh có thể
Tony, very nice to meet you. So, interpreter, can you please translate for me to make sure that Mr. Tony Harman can hear your voice? So, Tony Harman, can you hear? Please confirm.
Yes, I can. I'm hearing you in English loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tony.
After I speak Vietnamese, then Mr. Tuấn Anh will translate to English. Then I can hear you respond, and it's about 5 seconds. Yeah, totally. Okay, thank you.
Vấn này chắc bắt đầu nhỉ hay là?
Okay, so Mr. Ngọc is asking whether we should start now or should we wait. So they are greeting each other, so Ngọc and Tiến and others. And someone said that Ngọc is his hair is nicer and nicer each day. So his hair is floating like a flying. So we should wait for a few more minutes so that we have a full participation.
Sơn Anh có thể phổ biến lại cái chương trình chiều hôm nay.
And now the coordinator asked Xuân Anh to announce the working agenda for this afternoon.
Kính thưa quý vị cũng như là các quý vị chủ thể, thì chương trình buổi chiều ngày hôm nay.
So good afternoon, participants and stakeholders. So today is about the launching ceremony on the National Ocop rating scoring app. The ceremony is scheduled from 1:10 until 17, and the key participant will be the Ocop stakeholder, the Ocop manager at the province district level, as well as the Ocop manager at province level and other stakeholder on Ocop. So the agenda will be firstly a Zoom platform, technical preparation, web participant introduction. Okay, so it was mainly about testing the sound quality.
Và ban tổ chức cũng muốn nhắc luôn là nếu mà quý vị sẽ có những cái phần trình bày là bằng tiếng Anh hoặc là bằng tiếng Việt, thì quý vị khi mà muốn nghe từ tiếng thì hãy bấm vào cái nút.
And now this is a reminder for language choice. Like if you can speak both Vietnamese and English, you can choose to hear the background speaker, and if not, you can choose either English only or Vietnamese only.
Xin phép là được tương tác với đầu cầu của phía anh Ngọc ạ.
Mình nghe đây.
Dạ vâng. Anh Ngọc, với chương trình chiều hôm nay thì mình sẽ có 2 phần. Chắc là xin phép.
So it's mainly for sound testing, sound quality testing.
Toàn ơi, chắc bắt đầu đi.
Okay, so good afternoon everyone. Our ceremony will be started now.
Em xin phép được bắt đầu.
Okay, so now we the ceremony officially start. Hand over to the moderator, Xuân Anh. So managers, distinguished participants. So one commune, one product or Ocop was executed under a decision by on the 7th May 2018 by the Prime Minister of Vietnam. It is one of the key initiatives to promote the rural development, increase the values and the livelihood of the local people. And after 3 years of implementation, Ocop now become one of the key programs and widespreading to all 63 provinces and cities. And in order to score rating the Ocop, the provinces and local authority already conducted the scoring of Ocop, and so far over 5,500 product was rated a 3-star and above, and over 2,200 Ocop product was recognized, and of which 26% from the SME. In 2020, MARD, Ministry of Agriculture, rate and recognized 20 product at national level, which means they are scored at 5-star. So to promote the digital transformation in recent months and years, the Central Coordination Office on New Rural Development has promoted the Ocop. And more specifically, the Central Office applied the scoring app in 2020. However, to simplify the scoring process and to make sure that we have a very well interconnected database, today the Central Coordination Office will organize this launching ceremony, and after that the introduction of the user manuals on the scoring app. And to join us in this ceremony, I'm very pleased to welcome first from the Central Office, Nguyễn Minh Tiến, the Director and the Chief of Office of the Central Coordination Office, New Rural Development. And then from Australian Embassy to Vietnam, Tony Harman, the Agricultural Counselor, Australian Embassy to Vietnam. Welcome you. And then from Asia Foundation, Mr. Philip Grover, as the Deputy Country Representative of Asia Foundation in Vietnam, Lê Tu Hiền, Senior Expert of the Asia Foundation. And then from the Craft Export Association, Lê Bá Ngọc, Secretary General and Vice Chairman of the Craft Export Association of Vietnam. And also we welcome the participation of the representative from DARD, local regulators, cooperative producers, Ocop stakeholders who register and join us in this
tất cả các đồng chí lãnh đạo.
launching ceremony and users manual. So I warmly welcome you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we start our ceremony to provide an overview about the ceremony. Tiến, the Director, Central Coordination Office of New Rural Development, to deliver his opening remark. And now it's Tiến. So first, thank you very much on behalf of the Central Office. Thank you, the organizers. So Mr. Tony Harman, Agricultural Counselor, Mr. Philip Grover, Deputy Country Representative of Asia Foundation, and experts and colleagues and friends. So first, on behalf of the Central Coordination Office, I am very pleased to join you in this ceremony as one of a series of activities focusing on digital transformation in the one commune, one product, or Ocop. So in this morning, we heard the presentation about the digital transformation in promoting Ocop product and marketing Ocop product. So we know very well that in the current pandemic time, as well as the other impact, the digital use, especially digital transformation to promote social economic development is in general and Ocop in particular should be furthered. And this morning we heard about the key stakeholder for digital transformation, which can be applied for product designing and marketing and exporting. And as moderator Huấn has mentioned, in this afternoon ceremony, we will be discussing about how digital transformation can help with scoring and rating the Ocop product. So we covered 5 sessions under 9 topics, and altogether we learned that digital transformation is a must-do. And especially for Ocop, we collect thousands of stakeholders, and only digital transformation can help us with that level of interconnection. And after 3 years, just more than 3 years of Ocop, so far over 5,000 products was scored either 3-star, 4-star, and about 1.4% can be potentially 5-star scored. And as Tuấn Anh mentioned earlier, that 20 products from 20 provinces or locality have been scored by MARD and other stakeholders at 5-star. So this means that in the past 3 years of Ocop, the scoring of Ocop product remain on a very important stage over 5 stages altogether. So Ocop product rating not only help us to rate the Ocop product either 3-star, 4-star,
quan trọng hơn nữa
or
là
5-star, but more importantly, through application of the criteria under the decision 5781 on Ocop scoring. In this exercise, we learn about the challenge bottleneck from the raw material, from technology application, traceability, IPR, distribution network, and product quality. We consider that scoring and rating of Ocop product not only to give it a rate 3 or 4 5-star to market to the product and to commercialize, but for the regulator, which many of them are joining today. So we hope that with that we can see the challenge, which are based on that the both regulator as well to province district level can have the Ocop stakeholders to further improve so that all the Ocop products can meet increasing need and demand in both domestic and international market. And after 3.5 years, 63 provinces have joined Ocop, and over 5,000 from over 5,000 Ocop stakeholders have been implemented. And this is such a sophisticated process. It requires a lot of things, including documentation, copying documents, scoring and rating. And we also referred to the provisional level actions, and we see that it will require a thick document application, including the traceability certification of origin, the IPR, and different kind of certificates such as Global Gap, Viet Gap. So this certificate is the Ocop scoring and rating. It will require a lot of work, and therefore it causes a lot of burden to central, province, and district, especially at the working level. And we heard some comment that to prepare such a full application to be scored by 26, 27 members. So even just copying it's already like a big task. So let's say over 5,000 Ocop product was submitted. It means that we have that much application, and some of the application from printing, copying, it can be as much as 10 million, which is about $450. And we can multiply that much over $400 with over 5,000. It's already about 50 billion Vietnam dong, which is converted into over $2,200,000. So we can imagine how costly it is. Of course, on one side, we need to satisfy the food safety requirement, origin traceability, meeting both domestic and international market requirement. But at the same time, this number also show us some burdensome that the Ocop stakeholder got fulfilled. The printing, copying is one side, and then the environmental issues is another one. And therefore, we understand very well that this is such a challenge that we need to really consider. And especially in the current context, when the country is promoting the digital transformation. And today we have a distinguished colleague from the Australian Embassy and the Asia Foundation to join us. And for your, so they represent the donors, the key partners for us. And as we discussed this morning, digital transformation is about digitizing the document. But digital transformation helps us to change the way we work. So instead of printing, copying, tens of copies and so on, which it is costly, it is environment, it causes many environmental impact. And it is difficult for the Ocop from a commune, district, province level to work. For example, from the central office, we look at 20 of national co-op Ocop product potentially ranking 5-star, but it was hard enough for us to obtain the full set of document. So yes, we are all facing the same challenge. We need to speed up the work at a good quality, but at the same time, we need to minimize the cost. And therefore, the digital transformation will be one of the key solutions it helps us to speed up the process. It can help us to do the same work most efficiently. And only when we use digital tools,
cơ sở dữ liệu thì sau này
it helps us to electronically store on a database. So at any time in the future, we can have a very easy, we can easily follow up, and it can be transparent. It can be very supportive to the future work. So on such a background and spirit, especially to implement a decision 1048 on the Ocop rating, and then and at higher level, Prime Minister decision 781. Sorry, there is a sound intervention. So in such a context, digital transformation, digital tools application is so important to digitize the process, digitize the documents, starting from very early stage, submitting the application, and then the subsequent process of scoring and rating. So digital tools will be very helpful, making sure that all the process will be straight through, and it can help us to standardize and help us to build an Ocop ecosystem, and it will make the exercise very much easier. And in this series of training on Ocop, we spend one session so that the key experts will launch the apps and to provide the users manuals. So first, it will help us to see how the Ocop can be done on the digital platform. And second, on today's session, it will the Ocop stakeholder will receive the instruction on how to digitize their work, serving the same purpose but digitally. So it is easier, it is faster, it is more transparent and more efficient. Sorry, it seems that we are disconnected from the speaker. Now he's back, and especially it is a very straight through. It is end-to-end, and it can be standardized on the Ocop national database as a central level. And therefore, in this afternoon session, firstly, we will launch the scoring app, and second, the developer will introduce we will offer the users manual. So altogether, it can help all the related stakeholders to simplify the process at the lower cost, at both working level to commune, district, province, and central level. So when join the Ocop, we will grant a ID code, and with such an ID code, it can help with many follow-up tasks, including submitting the application or scoring. And once we can have such electronic database, it can serve many subsequent activities, and it can help us, the related stakeholder, to see the challenge that all Ocop stakeholders are facing. And then later on, if the Ocop stakeholder want to upgrade their product, and then it will be very easy to see the end-to-end process. And then it can help us to see not only application and scoring, but analyzing quality improvement by all Ocop stakeholders. And therefore, our support to the Ocop is not only about rating the 3, 4, 5 star, but it can serve many additional purposes in this journey of building new rural development. And not only submitting an application and scoring, but also many follow-up tasks. And then it can help us to have a centralized database of thousands and thousands of Ocop products. I can call it the ecosystem. And such an ecosystem can be very helpful for regulators, and it can help us the Ocop manager or product owners to engage in a ecosystem with the other distributor and market participant. So in the spirit, on behalf of the Central Coordination Office, I warmly welcome you to this launching ceremony, and then the users manual for both regulators and Ocop stakeholders. So on behalf of the Central Coordination Office, I want to thank the Ministry of Foreign Relations and Trade of Australia and in Vietnam. I thank you very much, Mr. Tony Hammond, the Agriculture Councillor. And I want to thank Philip and Rovac from Asia Foundation and many other dear colleagues. So we can see very clear commitment and great support from different stakeholders locally and internationally to the Coordination Office and to the province, district, and commune authority, especially the Ocop stakeholders in this process of Ocop implementation, including digital transformation. And therefore, in the near future, we expect to see such an ecosystem of the Ocop. And as this morning, we have Mr. Khanh from Ministry of Information and Communication. So this morning, we offered our commitment to work closely with digital transformation and offering our support to province and local authority in promoting digital transformation, giving the ID for the raw material areas and further support on technical capacity building and development, so that the digital transformation is not only about preparing an application, but it can be extended to product concept, product design, for which today we will discuss much further, more in depth. And it will be very helpful for marketing product and distributing product, commercialize the product. And now finally, on behalf of the office, I want to thank all the stakeholders locally, internationally, for your great support and engagement. And I want to thank the developer for developing such a powering app, for which it will be very helpful, offering an end-to-end processing and very transparent, and it is very it is very helpful for many follow-up work as well. So thank you very much to the Haman, Agriculture Councillor of Australian Embassy to Vietnam, and thank you Philip and Robert, Liberty Country Representative of Asia Foundation, for your excellent support and coordination. And we hope that you will extend your future support to not only this my office, but also to provinces and local authorities, with an aim that our Ocop will be executed in a very efficient manner, and at the end of the day, our Ocop product can be commercialized, reaching the end users. And now back to the moderator. So thank you very much, Mr. Tien from the Central Office of New Rural Development. We have well taken, well noted your comment. So thank you again for your time joining us in this ceremony. And next, ladies and gentlemen, we have participation from Australian Embassy to Vietnam. So the Australian Embassy have provided a great support to the MARD on agriculture development, rural development, and to share further about the orientation of the Embassy on supporting the new rural development in general and Ocop in particular. Now I am very pleased to invite Mr. Tony Hammond to deliver his welcoming opening remark. So over to you.
Xin chào. I'd like to thank the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and One Commune, One Product and the Asia Foundation for hosting this session. And I'm particularly pleased to see the level of participation at today's event. I realise there is a lot of work that goes into getting this far with significant projects like this. And I would like to acknowledge the work of the project team and the joint partners, TAF and Vietcraft, for their endless efforts in navigating a range of challenges and difficulties to get to this particular point today. I'm speaking on behalf of the Australian Embassy in Vietnam, and I'm the Australian Agricultural Counsellor. So I'm particularly pleased to be here as I have the pleasure of working very closely with MARD across many areas of cooperation. I appreciate digital transformation is central to Vietnam's growth and productivity agenda, and we see it in all facets of industry policy across Vietnam. E-commerce, digital trade, and more broadly the digital economy provide an enormous and potentially transformative opportunity to accelerate economic recovery and resilience while promoting inclusive development. COVID-19 has shown us the importance of the role of technology in helping businesses continue to trade. E-commerce can help businesses overcome key physical and economic challenges to their growth and support diversification in goods and services. Use of digital and ICT technologies can allow small-scale businesses, women traders, and entrepreneurs to reach out to customers globally, communicate better with others in their value chain, and access government e-services, information, and online business training. However, some developing countries face numerous challenges in maximising the benefits from e-commerce. And these challenges include underdeveloped infrastructure, low levels of inclusive access to ICT and finance, lack of robust policy and regulatory frameworks, a lack of skills and safe and reliable e-payment platforms, and inefficient trade facilitation and logistics. Australia's support for e-commerce strongly aligns with addressing the economic recovery pillar of Australia's new development policy called Partnerships for Recovery. Australia sees e-commerce and digital trade as important areas for collaboration to increase productivity, entrepreneurship, innovation, jobs, and access to new markets. Australia's $5.1 million e-commerce aid for trade fund supports ASEAN and Pacific governments, development partners, and the private sector on a range of capacity building activities that relate to e-commerce. This e-commerce fund supports projects that help build a stronger digital trade enabling environment, address some of the barriers to e-commerce, and support women's economic empowerment and participation in trade across the Asia-Pacific region. The overall goal of the fund is to contribute to improved e-trade readiness. The e-commerce fund continues to leverage momentum and opportunities for increased demand for e-commerce, supports economic recovery, and drives job creation, growth, and development in a very challenging COVID-19 environment in which we now find ourselves. As part of our e-commerce fund, Australia is pleased to be funding the Asia Foundation TAF project on global local connection through e-commerce. The project will augment the existing TAF EtiTrade International mobile app, allowing producers, exporters, and consumers to access information on the dragon fruit supply chain and and add other food products under the Ocop program. I congratulate the program managers and all those involved on this important milestone and wish you every success in rolling out this significant product, which will improve rural lives and livelihoods for many years to come across Vietnam. Come on.
Thank you very much for your speech. Xin được cảm ơn ông về phần phát biểu vừa rồi. Và kính thưa
Thank you very much, Mr. Haman, for your kind remark. So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, so we have just finished our launching ceremony on the Ocop scoring app. And once again, on behalf of the organizer, we thank you very much the managers, the key experts, and representative of the donors. And we thank you very much for the past support, and we look forward to working with you further, especially Australian Embassy and the Asia Foundation, so that working together it can help us to increase the efficiency and while spreading the Ocop product in the future. May I wish you very good happiness and success, and thank you and goodbye for now. And next, ladies and gentlemen, to continue with our program, it will be the user manuals for using the Ocop scoring app. And joining us today, I'm pleased to invite Nguyễn Toàn. He's a CEO of the KYC company. He will firstly talk about the advantage of the Ocop scoring app. So now it is a Toàn, the CEO of the KYC. So thank you, moderator, and very good afternoon, Mr. Haman, Mr. Granobach. So yes, we already got very exciting session in the morning about digital transformation. And this afternoon, I will deliver a quick presentation about the improvement of the Ocop scoring app. And later on, when we deep dive into the detail of the app, Thảo Liên, my colleague, will share a presentation. So yes, I am a CEO of the KYC company, which is working with the Vietcraft and Asia Foundation to develop the Ocop 5-star at central level. So this app got many improvements. Firstly, in implementation of the Ocop, we see that the need for information exchange and the KYC of stakeholder is very important. It's very important need. We have about 5,000 products and thousands of stakeholders, and the mission of the Ocop is about strengthening the capacity and provide necessary support so that the Ocop stakeholder can sell quality product to both domestic and international markets. So yes, so far we have about 25-star Ocop products, and some of them can be exportable, and some of them now are on the top of mind of the consumers. But importantly, how can we widespreading this? So we only can do so starting with an information channel, communicating with all related stakeholders 24/7. So the first idea from this improved scoring app is about using the mobile as the telephone number to register the app ID. So it seems that we have the translation function. So some of the participants forget to mute the microphone. So may I remind you that please mute your phone. So now about the KYC using the mobile number. So yes, you will register by your mobile number, telephone number, and then you receive the OTP. And with OTP, it will be accessible to the app. So it has been it is more popularly used during the COVID time. First of all, we have many COVID apps, and we register use the user name, so the telephone number is also our username. So, so the telephone number becomes such an important factor, and it is important given that at the request of MIC, Ministry of
Recording
Information
stopped.
and Communication, it requires that the telephone number will be linked with the personal information. So you can use the mobile number, telephone number from different carriers to register. So yes, the user need to register the username by the telephone numbers. First, with the telephone number, they will receive the OTP, and then
Recording in
do
progress.
follow-up task. And in just about
cái tin
5
nhắn
seconds, the user will receive the OTP. So that is the first improvement using the telephone number as a username.
Recording stopped.
And the second improvement it's about it is a straight-through app from central to the commune level. So first, Ocop will submit an application. So the Ocop stakeholder will submit by themselves. And during 2 years of Ocop, I visited quite a number of provinces and districts or communes. So sometimes the Ocop stakeholder are highly dependent on the consultant. And with this end-to-end app, we hope that this will be resolved in the near future. So the Ocop stakeholder will be able to directly submit the application. Then the scoring bot will make will score the application from commune to district and then to province level. And then during this process, the Ocop stakeholder will be able to receive some comment or question or feedback
trung ương.
from the jury. And then once it is past the province level, it will be transferred to the central level. So during this process, the district province level can see in a transparent manner the process, and they can track the status of application. And in decision 1048, it's the role of the commune level was not very clear. However, in like a 741 decision, it was much clearer about the role of the community. And therefore, in this scoring app, we already embedded the role of the commune authority.
Vâng, xin phép nhờ báo cáo viên là sẽ mở full màn hình khi mà trình chiếu để mọi người thể thấy rõ hơn ạ.
So please open full screen mode. And firstly, I consider this is a very important improvement, and we are very excited about it. And as we all know, for Ocop in 2018 and 20, you will prepare the application, you submit such an application to different authority level. So sorry, we have sound issues. Someone do not turn off their mic. So once the application is submitted to the system, and then a assessment bot will work on that. And only at a later stage, the Ocop stakeholder will know their rating. However, now with this app, we can see clearly about the status. So we have the following functionality. Firstly, reference criteria for the jury. So the jury will be able to base on such a reference material to support the assessment of Ocop. And in the past, we learned that the Ocop stakeholder, Ocop like a manager, they understand about
Nhóm tư
this
vấn
issue this way. But for either the consultant or the managers, they understand about it another way. And therefore, the functionality on the reference material would be very helpful for both the Ocop stakeholder and assessment jury. It's funny. Sorry, we have a music intervene.
Dạ vâng, đây là cái mặt
All right.
chưa tích cực lắm của công nghệ.
So it is the left side of technology. Sometimes it is
dịch song ngữ thì nó có
today, because today we have an interpreter who essentially we assign the interpretation function. So with this, we cannot control all the mic. And then we, the Ocop stakeholder, will be able to see about the ratings. Sometimes the Ocop stakeholder is confident about the application, but the assessment will be on different dimensions, rock quality, legal perspective, and so on and so forth. And therefore, in cases, the Ocop stakeholder forget to fulfill all the requirements regarding the legal perspective, the IPR, the trademark, and so on. And therefore, this functionality on the active application assessment is very important. And firstly, it can help to improve the knowledge and expertise of the Ocop stakeholders. So let's say after joining the program and after in the program is rated 3 or 4 or 5 star, it is very important that the capacity of the Ocop stakeholder will be improved. So we can see from first of all, I share an example that there can be some medium or big company, but they still got like a problem with the IPR, intellectual property rights. However, with Ocop, it can help us to tackle these problems. And finally, after we reviewed all the after this reviewing exercise, the capacity of the Ocop stakeholder will be able to improve. And of course, it is like an app or software, so it will keep all the document in the archive. So it means that next year you want to upgrade from 3 star to 4 star, and then you can extract the assets
đoạn 2021
database, and you make the updating or upgrading of your
cao và cái chất lượng của
and therefore it will help you to better control and improve the application quality, and it will be very helpful to improve the output product quality. And later on about how Ocop scoring app is different from the previous one. So
nếu như mà có câu hỏi gì
with our partner have spent quite some time studying on this and improving the app. So if you have any question, please let me know through the chat box. And now I will hand over to the moderator. So before we move on to with a detailed presentation of user spend on I'm going to invite Huấn from the Central Coordination Office to share his few thoughts. Now, Mr. Huấn from the Central Office. So thank you, moderator, and very good afternoon to everyone. So the Central Office we apologize that Tiến, the manager of the office, got a meeting at the MARE. So he got to leave us for the meeting at 2 hours. Okay, so we have heard from Toàn, the CEO of the KYC company, about the improvement and on the value added offered by this scoring app. So it is very important improvement. And from the Central Office, Coordination Office, we consider that it is a great enabler to implement Ocop from Central to province to the working level. And it is such an enabler about submitting, about making assessments on scoring of the applications. And therefore, today we have a launching and users instructions. And to make this happen, we thank deeply the Asia Foundation, Vietnam, and many other stakeholders. I apologize if I do not name all of you. We thank you so much for joining us in the past a few years so that we can upgrade and improve the scoring app. And the scoring apps aimed at the scoring app will be used synchronously across the country in support of Ocop implementation. And of course, it will be a great enabler of the Ocop scoring and assessment. And we look forward to working with you further from Australian Embassy, from Asia Foundation, and many other stakeholders
trong những cái
future. So that's the digital transformation, and especially on some specific issues like traceability, raw material identification, promotions, especially e-commerce. And altogether, it aims at improving the efficiency for Ocop aspect.
Đến thời điểm hiện tại thì
it's important because most of them are micro enterprises or the cooperative. So this is amazing enough that we have over 400 joining this, and
sau cái buổi
and on Facebook over 1,000 followed the meeting. So we hope that following this launching and users manual session, the both the central and province and other working level where participants will be able to understand about the key feature of this scoring app for practical applications. So once again, on behalf of the Central Coordination Office, I want to thank so much the Australian Embassy, Asia Foundation, for your great support in the past few years, including supporting on this scoring app. So I hope that this launching and the users manual of the scoring app will be a great success. So now back to Ron, the CEO. So thank you, Mr. Tuấn, and just about 15 seconds, please, we will turn off all the mic. Because we have the second language interpreter, so please give us about 15 seconds to.
Dạ vâng ạ, xin mời MC tiếp tục chương trình.
Vâng, xin cảm ơn đồng chí Huấn và xin cảm ơn anh Toàn. Và tiếp theo chương trình.
So thank you, Mr. Huấn, thank you, Toàn, from KYC Community. So yes, we already covered a high-level introduction of the scoring.
Phần giải pháp KYC.
And the next presenter will be Mr. Liên from the KYC Community. She will talk about the guidance on operation of the scoring app. So over to you, Mr. Liên.
Cảm ơn MC Xuân Anh.
Now it's Lian. So thank you, Đánh, and good afternoon, distinguished colleagues. And good afternoon, everyone. The Ocop at Central Province District Commune level and all Ocop stakeholders. So thank you for joining us. So now I will go straight into the key point. So I'm very pleased to be on behalf of the
để
developer
giới thiệu tới cho mọi người
of this Ocop scoring app to introduce the key functionality of the apps.
thì như mọi người có thể đang nhìn thấy ở trên màn hình bây giờ.
Okay, so I hope you can see the screen. So it is about the interface of the central Ocop. So the link is on app.sohaocop.com. So please see it on the slide. So I will practice on my screen, and
trong quá trình thao tác
strongly recommended to follow me. And if you have any questions or issues during practicing, please let us know through the chat box. Okay, so once you enter the ocop.com, and then firstly you need to register a user ID. So if you are the first time user, you will just click on, let's say, register now. So this question is about the user's manual. So firstly, if you don't have, if you are a new user, you need to register, and you can register under firstly an Ocop stakeholder, and second Ocop manager. It can be as a central province or district, and not on the commune level. And thirdly, you can register as a assessor or a jury member. And then you can register as a consultant.
Thì ở đây sẽ là tổ mà có cái nhiệm vụ là giúp đỡ cho hội đồng chấm để rà soát về các cái
it can be very helpful for the jury to make an assessment or scoring of the Ocop product. So first, let me guide you on selecting. Okay, so after selecting who you are, and now you need to enter some key information such as your full name, your contact number, telephone number, and then you enter your email. And then password. So after you enter,
thì khi mà chúng ta đã đăng ký thành công một cái tài khoản thì cái việc đầu tiên là chúng ta sẽ phải là khởi tạo.
So firstly you need to activate. Okay, so it's like that you register a user ID and password, but you need to activate the user ID. In this case, the user can be a company, a cooperative, or a company. So first you need to activate and register who you are. So I already prepared a default user's account. So first look at the menu bar on the left about selecting the stakeholder type, and then you can see the other button like adding the new stakeholder or adding the new product. So let's say if you need to add a stakeholder, you just press on it to create another stakeholder on this to join the Ocop. And regarding the you need to enter some information such as name of stakeholder, the legal type, and then you choose either at the province, district, or commune level. The name of province. This is important because the Ocop manager at the province or district or commune level will be able to see you and then to understand receiving your application and make assessment of your application. So you need to totally register your province or district or commune level. So on the CEO formally ask the present to slow down so that everyone can register. So thank you, and let me continue. Okay, so let's say the stakeholder name. We can say like a cooperative single. And then legal type cooperative, and then you select the province or district or commune.
Thì trên này là một số các cái thông tin cơ bản của chủ thể, sau đó là sẽ đến thông tin
Information from the stakeholders, and then you about the draft information. So it is important that you see you need to put the trust under one of the existing product category.
Như ở đây giả sử tôi muốn nộp một cái bộ hồ sơ Ocop.
Usually when they request your it will be easier for them to make an assessment